Hi, I'm Vicki Wolf, Education Manager at ABTA, and today I'm with Joe Roche, the Managing Director of Northern Training Academy, who are specialists in apprenticeship training. As an ABTA partner, NTA are providing 30 minutes free expertise, support, and advice on apprenticeships for travel businesses exclusively for ABTA members via our apprenticeship helpline. Joe, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. What would you say are the main benefits of an apprenticeship?
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm looking at it from both perspectives, from employer and from apprentice angle. For the employer, the benefits of the apprenticeship are very much that the training is given by ourselves or similar training providers, and it's around whatever the actual occupational area or specialism that's required by the employee. So obviously there's a travel consultancy apprenticeship. There's a huge variety of different apprenticeships with management levels, right from level 2, which is equivalent to GCSE, through to master's level. So there's a huge variety of both levels and topics that employers can select from for their individuals. So the advantage there is that the apprentice is working with the organisation, but also then learning the trade, learning the occupation, and gaining the knowledge skills that are needed for the role that they're in. For the apprentice, they obviously are earning money, so they're not sort of tying themselves up with huge debt, student debt, but they're actually then also learning and gaining the knowledge, skills, behaviours that they need to help their own career progression, and to really motivate them. Most employers will sort of, they gain the benefits from a more experienced, more knowledgeable employee base, and the individual employee benefits hugely because of the career progression, the opportunities that open up for them within the workplace.
Amazing, thank you. Having been in the business of apprenticeships for quite some time, Joe, what would you say, what's your view on the current travel apprenticeships when you compare them to the ones that we had in the past?
Yeah, I think having worked with them extensively in the past, they were very heavily knowledge based in terms of physical geography, sort of the knowledge around the destinations and the cultures, and very highly technical as well in terms of having to demonstrate sort of ticketing for airlines, rail stuff. And today's travel consultancy is more about the skills that are needed in order to help the client. So it's not necessarily you need to have an encyclopedic knowledge of the whole of the globe, but it's more about being able to have the skills and experience to meet what the customers actually need in an ever-changing dynamic market. So we've changed from it being approved bookings being made for a package holiday, a tailor-made, etc. It's now more about all the different customers that are dealt with and their different needs and aspirations, and also interrogating more the variety of travel options that there are out there, you know, sort of incorporating the different segmentation that I don't ever think was really addressed specifically 10, 15 years ago. So I find that the new apprenticeship is actually a lot more relevant in today's market, a lot more about the technology that's available to the consultant in order to help them help the customers.
Apprenticeships are a great way of attracting new talent, but can existing members of staff do an apprenticeship without compromising their current role and the salary that they're currently on?
Yeah, I think this is one of the biggest messages that the government haven't really given to anybody, not just the travel industry, but it's not just about new entrants into an organisation, it's also about the developing your workforce generally. So yeah, if you have an existing employee who maybe has changed roles or is ready to go into the next level of their career, then there are apprenticeship opportunities for them. They don't go on to an apprenticeship salary, and they don't have any of the sort of associated lack of benefit that an apprentice might have newly appointed. So whatever their pay, the structure, that remains the same, the contract remains the same. It's just that they have then the benefit of the apprenticeship training. The employer will allow them the time to actually do the training that's required within whichever standard they're doing.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm not sure that message gets across, so thank you for that.
Yeah, it's quite a difficult message, I think, because that lack of understanding. I think apprenticeships, I've said it before, is everybody thinks it's 16 to 18-year-old school leavers brand new into a job, and it's really not. And I think the government have demonstrated it by having the variety of levels right up to master's level, but haven't necessarily always communicated that effectively to any industries really. So it's a similar problem.
And I know NTA are also working with many organisations on traineeships. What are these and how can these be beneficial to ABTA members?
Yeah, traineeships are they vary between a sort of minimum 6-week programme through to a maximum year, with a requirement for a minimum of 70 hours work experience, so equivalent to 2 full-time weeks, essentially. What the trainee gets is they're not paid, but they are trained by us within specific skills. A lot of focus is on employment readiness, sort of being able to present yourself, being able to do an interview, just really transitioning from somebody who may not have had any contact with any professional situation or any job, but to get them job ready so that they have got then the confidence to work, you know, and that so it may be the employer would look at them in an interview situation without the training and think, no, they're not really for us. But then what we do is we then teach them sort of the employability aspect, but we also give them occupational grounding. So if they would be going into a travel agency, we would give them specific travel training so that they could at least go and be, you know, somewhat knowledgeable. Now we all know that travel is such a complex product, and as a product, you know, the actual extensive knowledge that you have to have takes some time to develop. But what we found is that by the trainee doing this sort of a bit of a bridging knowledge experience, they then go into the work experience setting far more ready than if they've had nothing at all. And then it gives the trainee the opportunity to decide, is this for them or not? But more importantly for the employer, it gives them the opportunity to sort of see what that person can do, and without any risk to themselves. And indeed, they get £1,000 incentive if they do the 2-week placement or 70 hours. They also then have the opportunity to see, is this person for them? And what we found with our programme is that probably 70% of the trainees that we have going through are experiencing the jobs that are being offered at the back end, which is, it's really great. So we're kind of matching up about ourselves. We've had 3 trainees that we had prior to 2021, and we've employed them. So we were delighted, and we probably wouldn't have found them otherwise. So you think that these people are lost in the system somewhere, and they have so many skills and so much ability that just needs to be encouraged.
Yeah,
and then,
just a little bit of a helping hand.
just and I think for employers it's, you know, it's fairly, you know, yes, they do have to help them, they make sure they're kept busy, make sure they have tasks to do, but for most employers we find that they benefit and they like the opportunity to see who is out there for them, especially in today's environment.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, Jo, and sharing your insights and expertise.
No problem, and my pleasure.
I'm really pleased you have. If you're an ABTA member and would like 30 minutes of free advice from Northern Training Academy, you can get in touch via ABTA's apprenticeship helpline. Just email abtahelpline@nta.co.uk. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Vicki. Bye.